Hello YouTube, Cameron here. Welcome to part 2, but I'm filming all of these in one session, but I'm dividing it up. Yep, so let's get started. Here's these, most of which are dark. This is a nice Norwalk, Milk Crowley Crescent. And here's a really unusual milk board. It would have had an AC, all this board is right there, but it's mostly gone. Yeah, here's a nice one, that's early 1800s. Has green striations in it. I can see a little stripe of green there. It's pretty interesting. Nice dairy bottle. Chip on the back. Oh, nice, good. Casper dairy. Yeah. Let's keep going. Here's some of my smalls. See some nice perfumes over there. Some other ones. 2 Joanne. Here's a nice one. Bet You All. It's a cool one from like the 40s and 50s. Yeah, it's made to look like a jug, but it's not. It's like a hair product. I bought that at a thrift shop. Here's some of my nice light jars with the original lids, cold creams mostly. It's a nice shaker. Some other nice stuff. Here's a really cool one. Pretty much mint condition actually. The unusual, like, I don't know what it would have been for, like maybe hair tonic or something based on the size of the top, or sauce. Yeah, pretty cool. Here's a little frosted glass Q-Tex. Maybe we'll pick that up. This is like a little snuff container. Yeah. Let's see. This is battery oil. Found it a long time ago. Yeah, it's a nice perfume, some mini cokes. A little sample bottle. I actually got that from, I believe, well, he was called I believe it was TNT Digger. They changed his channel name. I don't remember what it is now. There's a Stringersol, Hires root beer, and a disinfectant bottle. Looks like Hudson's back. No, you can't just keep clawing at the door and then just staring at me. You need to either come in or don't. You're messing up my video. Okay, I guess you're not coming in. You had your chance. Okay, from now on I'm gonna ignore him. At least for now. I'll give him another chance later. Okay, he's clawing at the door already. I think he wants to get fed, but it's too early. He doesn't normally get fed until 7 in the morning, and I woke up pretty early today. It is 5:49, so I had trouble sleeping. Okay, here's some of my dishes mostly. Here's my one Ponto item I dug, not a bottle. It's like a pitcher. It is Ponto, but it might just be like an art glass kind of thing. It's very cracked up, unfortunately, and bruised. Here's a nice redware dish. Let's see, some nice plates, you can see. Here's a cool playing card ashtray. It has like different playing card symbols around it. Fortunately, I couldn't clean it off better than that. Nice. Here's something nice. An old Carvel spoon. And then here's a nice little cup. Let's see. Nice shot glass. One of 3 shot glasses. I dug the other one's actually right here. And here's a nice Japanese pottery. You can see a pitcher. It has some damage, but not too severe. It has a crack, a little bit of a chip. So still worth saving. Nice old shaker. That one was one of the earliest things I dug back in like 2016 or so, or 2017 actually. Right around the time I started my channel. Before that, I was actually a Pokemon card channel. Yeah. Here is a nice old shaker, probably early 1900s. One of the older shakers I've dug. See, it was like 1920s now I think about it. Here's a nice teacup. Here's a cool thing. It's from the 30s. It's a Golden's mustard advertising spoon. It might have come with a jar of mustard probably. Let me try to show it. That's like their mascot. Yeah. I can't get it to focus. Oh well. Let's keep going. Here's that cool little stopper I found. Oh, not little, normal stopper, you know what I mean. And here's a nice depression glass shaker. Fortunately, it has a crack in the base, but it's still worth keeping because it's depression glass. This teacup, and there's a sterling silver plate right there. Yeah, literally sterling silver, so that's nice. Here's a nice little enamelware cup, probably from like the 20s. Nice plate underneath it. Here's my jar of all the marbles I've dug. Here's a baby and an egg cup. Doll, you know what I mean. Then here's some other stuff. This looks like a nice barrel of whiskey, but it's a foreign one from like Germany, I think, or Poland. I can't remember which. So they're actually a lot less rare than they are here. Like if it was an American one. It's still pretty cool. Yeah. It looks like a very valuable bottle, but it's not really. It's a nice 1860s Crown marked beer. Lieberman beer bottle, that's nice. That was a gift. Here's a nice mason jar, Ball Ideal. Here's a giant Bromo seltzer, as you can see. Those are pretty rare. It's not a dispenser one, I know, but then the embossing would be upside down. So I don't. It just would have been a large size. Here's some of my buckles I've dug. Here's some of my buttons I've dug, and beads. Here's a nice local brick. Wait, there's another local brick here, Anchor brick. Oh, that one's actually pretty rare. Here's a nice Sweet Touch knee tin. It's quite dusty though. Here's some of my stone. Here's my stonewares. Here's a nice one, 1860 something to 1875, I believe. It's a nice one, but it's all cracked up. It's still really cool. There's a nice moonshine jug kind of thing. You know what I mean, a crock jug. Here's a nice little crock from the 30s, a butter crock. Well, it's not butter because it says it spreads like butter, so, but you know what I mean. Copyright 1933. Nice ACL, ashtray, liquefied beef bottle, that's pretty cool. Here's a nice bottle. Let's keep going. Here's something cool. It says member CPPA, so that's a local sign from a bungalow community in town. It's also pretty old, by the way. I'm not sure exactly how old. It's porcelain, so it's pretty old. Here's a nice Figural bottle with the original paint. Unfortunately, that's Italian, so it's foreign, but still pretty cool. Here's a nice Schaefer beer knob. It's called a ball knob from a beer tap. Here's another one. Peter Dolger. Here's a nice Figural car bottle. It's pretty cool. Here's a nice prescription bottle. It's only from like the 60s, but it's still pretty cool. From Vanwick Pharmacy, which is in the town I live in. Here's a nice, like, I don't know if it's real diamond, probably not, but it could be because it's from the home of Gloria Swanson, the actress. And the casings for it look like sterling silver. I'm not sure if you can see how it's tarnished. So that's what gives me hope, but I don't know. Maybe I could have it tested. Then here's some nice Colgate perfume bottles. Nice shot glass. Stupidly, I did this back when I was a new collector after I dug it. I used like an abrasive thing to clean the like corrosion off. And now it looks like crap. And you can see, and it's all messed up because I stupidly did it on the part with the writing too. But I decided it was still worth keeping even though I screwed it up a lot. And there's a nice brooch. It's a nice sterling silver spoon, a nice teacup, and a really cool like with plate with like frosted grapes on it. I'm not sure if you can see that. Here's a local spoon, souvenir spoon from the 1890s. I can't remember the exact date. 1894, I think. There's some nice perfumes. These I actually got for $1 each, by the way. This is from the same place where I got the paper labeled bottle, which you showed in the last video, and the other one. And this I also got for $1. I got 9 perfume bottles for $1 each. It's really cool. I also got this one for $1, and this one, and this one. And not this one, actually. This one was given to me as a gift. But this one, originally the stopper wasn't broken. It broke after I got it, which really sucks. Well, I said it was still worth keeping, of course, but the bottle itself is not damaged. So it'd be silly to get rid of it because of that. It's a nice Figural, a nice old calendar from World War II, and other stuff. I'm gonna try to go a bit faster. I don't want this video to be too long. This wine. Here's some local-ish bottles from Austin, which was near me. These are local bottles from Croton. These ones here. This one. And this one's not exactly liquid, but it's made by Twinco, which is the company that was originally based in Puritan, except this one's from the 60s. So I think they might have moved to Austin, which is where this one's from. And this is Twinco, Twinco Beverages. Yeah. Here's a nice one. Here's one of my few. Here, I'm not sure if it's my only one, but it's one of the black. I think it's the only black glass bottle I done. It's amber black glass. Duff Gordon Cherry. That's from Spain. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Barely beat it. That was a surface find, believe it or not. Here's my biggest Pontold bottle. I did not dig that. I have not dug a Pontold bottle yet. Nice Austin bottles. Here's one of them, Sing Sing, which hasn't existed since 1901. Yeah. Okay, my voice is starting to get tired. I'm gonna take a break soon. Yeah, here's a nice P.H. Keenan, and then Thomas Finnegan Hutchins. Here's my one seltzer I dug. Unfortunately missing the top, so I have to put the lid on top and cover up the broken part. Still pretty nice, still worth keeping. Here's a nice gun. This is Davy Crocodile, that's probably from like the 50s. Here's some of my toy cars and other toys, mostly cars. Yep. Here's a nice older ball jar. Here's a nice Figural perfume I put on top of it, which if you open it up, it still smells inside even though I dug it. Yeah. It's nice. That was my first Figural bottle, if I'm not mistaken. Here's a nice Figural Pretzel flask. It's from Pennsylvania. Here's a newspaper fragment about a riot, a protest in which they brought out machine guns on protesters. They didn't actually use machine guns, but they brought them out. But they did use tear gas on the protesters. It was dairy farmers protesting. I forget exactly why. Some nice old vinyl records. Here's another perfume I got for $1. That was nice. Here's probably the oldest piece of glass, second oldest piece, because I found a 1600s piece of glass at Jamestown, Virginia. But I gave it to the archaeologist there. But this one's from Cleveland, Williamsburg. I found it right outside the coffee shop. Yeah, that could be 1700s, it could be early 1800s, but it's probably the second oldest piece I found. Unless you count this, potentially a stopper which I found behind the gunsmith shop, which I think might be Pontold. Found this behind the gunsmith shop in Cleveland, Williamsburg, this stopper. Yeah, here's some of my paper labels bottles, some nice ones. There's that piano polish for women playing the piano. Other nice stuff. Ancient Doodle ketchup. There's one's two of the original boxes. This one's like pretty old. In the early 1800s. I bought that for, believe it or not, only like $10 with the original box and contents. Another nice one. This one's cool. It has an error. It says mentions Food and Drug Act of June 30th of 1916 instead of 1906. So it's a typo. Some other paper labels. Yeah. It's a nice typewriter. From about the 20s, I think. Here is a pair of glasses I dug, which may have belonged to Joseph Kennedy, John F. Kennedy's father, because they're identical to the ones he wore, and dug them at the house of Gloria Swanson, who he had an affair with during the time she lived there. Yeah, so there's a good chance those belong to Joseph Kennedy, believe it or not. Yep. And then there's these train cars I dug, some figurines I dug. Yep. And some other stuff I dug, these little artifacts, this sterling silver bell from like a battle. Nice old tin. You see a whole bunch of other stuff. A pocket watch, I did not dig that. Dug most of this stuff. There's an old railroad tool check tag. My one pocket watch I dug, which is really cool. An old brooch with like little crystals or stuff in it. Or a pin, I guess you could call it. Some other stuff, most of which pretty much all of which I dug. Including that nice brass padlock. Some more padlocks. This is my Native American finds. This is the only one I didn't dig. I'm pretty sure it's a Native American, this. And I know for sure this one. Here's a nice watch parts tin. Here's some of my cobalts, as you can see. These are the only types of poison bottles I've dug. Unfortunately, I've never dug one that says poison on it, but these do count as poison bottles. Dug 3 of the cork top sizes, and another size, which is this one, which is screw top. It's nice. This is rarer than the normal milk of magnesia. It's Milk and magnesia tablets. Smaller one. Some more cobalts. This is where I keep my loose change. Here's an antique telephone I have. Yep. Nice stoneware beer there. Some other stuff. This like early 1800s, late 1700s Crow barrel piece. Yep. It's a nice old perfume I got from my grandmother. It's from the 40s. Belonged to my great grandmother. Nice little sword. Let's see. This is cool. It's like a little shank kind of thing. I think it was a longer knife that was in a makeshift way turned into a shorter knife because they wrapped bandages, believe it or not, around the top part of the blade. You can see. So I think this might have been like actually a military, like a World War kind of thing, because I found a World War II uniform back then actually in a dump. That's from the school dump. You see, they made it into like a shorter blade, so possibly like the knife broke and then they made it into a shorter blade, like makeshift. It's pretty cool. Here's my one wheel gun I dug, which was, I can't remember where I dug it. I think the school dump actually, believe it or not. And here's a toy one. Yep. Here's some more local bottles with a nice rare hutch. Here's the oldest bottle, whole bottle I dug. It's MB & Co. That's from 1861. There's this which as an info update. That thing back there with the milk glass. It's the inside light from would have been the interior light from like a 1920s car. That's pretty rare actually. Pretty nice. Made in Corning. Here's another MB & Co. bottle. This one I purchased. Here's a nice little clock. Some really nice jars. The one on the left is actually pretty rare. It's Sure Seal made for L. Bamberger Co. That was a department store. Yep. And that's all for part 2. Bye.